Oh, good evening and welcome everybody to my Saturday night Facebook Live. Hope you've had a good day or having a good day. Just make my cup of tea there. Tonight, because it's Saturday, I thought it would be a bit of fun to talk about sex and drugs and rock and roll, but without the drugs and without the rock and roll. Particularly, what I want to talk about is the mystique surrounding alcohol and sex and sexual endeavours and all this kind of thing, because yet again, this mystique around alcohol has gotten huge, and there's so much misinformation and so much garbage, for want of a better phrase, being bandied about, you know, how alcohol makes you hornier, how alcohol makes guys, turns them into Don Juan, and how women become easy when they're had. There's all sorts of crap. The problem that we have is, talk louder, sorry, is my, let me just put it up there. Is that better, Holly? She's gone quiet on me. Well, I've got all my volumes up, everything is the same as it was yesterday, so hopefully you can still hear me or hear me better. So, as I was saying, all about the mystique, not even mystique, because mystique is like an interesting kind of word that tells you something's quite interesting and worth talking about. Alcohol is a parasite. We know it rots your brain, but worse than that, it gets inside you and takes over you and makes you think that you are something that you're not. First of all, it depresses you when we think it doesn't. We think it, you know, we think alcohol, what's the word I'm looking for? Loosens our libido, makes us more open to suggestion, what have you. Not really, because I mean, that's already in there. Your emotions, your thinking, your wants, your desires, that's already there. Yeah. But this, you know, popular mystique that, you know, you got to have a couple of drinks and away you go. The problem that we have as a, well, not as just a nation, but as a world, is the stories we hear about alcohol just aren't true. Like, okay, if you just ever have one drink very, 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 very rarely, say, you know, once a month, maybe twice a month, then yeah, alcohol can help you relax, can help you overcome a little bit of anxiety and that kind of thing, and can be good to helping you talk to the opposite sex. But that's only if you drink very, very, very rarely, because unfortunately, most of us used to, or still do in some cases I get, you know, drink over time, more and more and more. I mean, I've spoken to people who started off drinking one glass of wine a night, and then it went to two, and then it went to three, and then it became a bottle, and then it became, you know, 2 bottles, and so on. And the thing with alcohol is, remember, we don't realise, is it stays, I didn't know this, but it stays in our bodies for up to 10 days. So even if, you know, like, you had a couple of drinks on Wednesday and think, okay, let's get frisky, it's Saturday night, let's have some fun, you're compounding the problem because you've already had a few drinks in the middle of the week and the alcohol is probably still inside you, so you're not kind of fresh as a daisy from an alcohol point of view. There's alcohol inside you and it's ready to go and do its thing. And the big danger is, check my notes, is that the sexual response, sexual desire, the sexual need for both men and women gets suppressed over time by alcohol. So in the beginning, yeah, cool, it gets you, you know, where you want to be, but that was a long, long, long time ago if you've been a regular drinker. The big issue is that it does actually suppress our, you know, sexual response by regular and prolonged drinking. What do I mean by that, the sexual response? Well, it's very simply, for men and women, it can make it much more difficult for you to enjoy sex. It can make it difficult for you to get an orgasm or to have prolonged, really, really deep, meaningful orgasm. That's male and female. And this is something we just don't hear about. We've got this, all the adverts are really, really, a cool guy and an attractive girl, then they're having like one tiny little sip of something in the glass, and before you know it, they're kissing and smooching, and they get in the car and, the taxi, and off they go. And we see them in the morning after they've had a wonderful night doing whatever. But it just isn't like that. Have you heard of the phrase brewer's droop? Now, if you're from the UK, you may have heard this. If you're from the States, it's called whiskey dick. And basically, this goes back to the mid-late 19th century when in bars, they were serving mainly, in the UK, mainly beer. And the beer was in barrels just below the bar or underneath the bar. So the bartenders and the brewers were constantly inhaling the fumes from hops, which is what beer is made from. And the problem with that is you think, well, that's great, you'd be tipsy all day long. But unfortunately, from men, hops contain estrogen, phytoestrogens they're called, and this is obviously a female hormone, and that then means that instead of being like this, where you want to be entertaining your wife at home that evening, we're like that. Yeah, because the enhanced estrogen inhibitors just block the testosterone for doing what it needs to do. And again, over time, it just becomes harder and harder and harder. Actually, no, it becomes softer and softer and softer in more ways than one. Overall, for everything, alcohol messes with the chemical messages in the brain. And for guys, this is a real problem because when you get excited, the message goes from the brain down to your penis and says, okay, time to do what you're going to do, time to increase the blood flow, time to get hard, so we're going to do some business, But with alcohol, because it's a depressant, because it messes with all the chemical stuff inside your head, these messages get lost. And so, although the desire might be there, the actual mechanical side of things is just not possible because the messages aren't getting to where they need to go. So the blood doesn't start flowing, the veins don't start opening, all the technical stuff that needs to happen for a guy to get an erection just stops happening. And that ain't no fun. I know, I've been there, Oh yeah, okay, I'll tell you a story. A long time ago, I used to be a binge drinker. Didn't drink during the week, but I would drink a skinful on a Saturday night. And on this particular Saturday night, I'd been drinking a lot of vodka, gone to a club, and wanted to, go dancing and meet a few girls and stuff. And I don't remember this, but what I was told the next day is that me personally, thinking I'm really cool and suave and sophisticated, and I'm trying to grab a girl to go and dance with me on the dance floor and that. But what it is instead of me speaking like this, I'm doing, hey, you are come dance and dance, which, as you can see, is really attractive, really enhancing, really ego boosting, and really, appealing to a girl who, might want to spend some time with you. Not. It's all the opposite. Alcohol turns, makes you something you're not. It really, really, really does make you something you're not. And this is a real scary one for any guys that might be watching. Did you know that over time, alcohol causes shrinkage? Literally, it can make your willy get smaller and can reduce the size of your testicles, Literally, over time, if you're a heavy drinker, in fact, from the research I've done today and over the past, it's not actually that much. It's just regular 3 or 4 pints a day over years will actually start to see a very, very detrimental effect. Another thing, I was having a chat with a colleague the other day, and she was talking to me about her drinking habit. She's drinking maybe up to a bottle of wine a night, okay? And she was saying, well, we've been trying to get pregnant for quite some time now, and it's not happening. And, we talked about the usual kind of things and everything, and I did some checking. And there's a lot of research now that's saying that even a very, very tiny amount of alcohol can actually mess with the fertility process in a woman, yeah? So it can actually reduce your possibilities of getting pregnant. And we're talking, you know, I think it's 14 units a week, which is, you know, a couple of small glasses every 2 or 3 days. But even that apparently can be enough to suppress the chemical reaction that you need inside to actually get pregnant. And it's not cutting edge research, but it's not far off, and it's relatively new. But the thing is, there is good news. If you quit drinking, okay, if you reduce your intake to 0, we can, or not me personally, but things will improve. Over time, yeah, your blood circulation will get back to normal, all the crap that's in your head, all the blockages that, you know, stopping messages getting to where they need to go, all of that will dissipate over time. And if you start eating healthily, if you start exercising, getting fresh air, looking after yourself much, much more than when you were drinking, things will improve. You will become better. And, you know, you'll be able to have fun in the bedroom with your partner and enjoy a good time without the beer. You don't need it. It's that simple. Society tells us we need to have a drink to enjoy ourselves. We don't. We really, really don't. Life becomes much more enjoyable, much more stimulating, much more exciting when you put the booze to one side. Now, if you've been drinking for quite a few years and then you stop, the benefits will take time to appear, okay? But once you've gone through this kind of sort of like resetting phase, readjustment phase, things will be a whole lot better for you, absolutely, yeah? So if you want a really good reason, or another good reason to quit drinking, it's how to improve your sex life in one easy go. Just cut it out completely and reap the benefits overall. Okay. Oh yeah, one other thing I want to talk about, and linked in with this as well, is that alcohol clouds our judgment. Have you heard the phrase beer goggles? And basically this means that as the night progresses and you're out on the town or whatever, we put on our beer goggles because we've had a few drinks, and then people start to, all the usual criteria for attractiveness that you as a person might have start to go out of the window. And say your standard of person that you would be attracted to is here, yeah, over the period of the night, the standard goes like this, lower and lower and lower, and people that you wouldn't normally be interested in start to go up into your estimation. And so this is the dreaded morning after the night before. You know, you sort of wake up and you look up and you realise you're not in your own bed. And then you sort of look across and you go, oh God, no. This is beer goggles, yeah? This is a very simple factor that beer makes people we wouldn't normally be attracted to appear much more attractive, because alcohol just clouds our judgment, just not just talking about sex, but in everything, in absolutely everything. It makes us more vulnerable to, just makes us more vulnerable, shall we say, for men and women. It can put us in some very, very difficult situations, and all of unwanted pregnancies come from dodgy nights out on the booze and, you know, unprotected sex and all that kind of thing. And one issue with that is there's a vicious circle, a vicious cycle, because you get into a relationship you don't want to be in, you drink through the relationship, you've got the kid sees you drinking, and the kid thinks drinking is cool, and then they go out, they have a dodgy relationship, they have a child, the child sees the parents arguing, and on and on and on and on and on it goes. So you have to break the cycle at some stage. Yeah, and the best way to do that is to actually have more fun and quit the drinking. Simple as that. That is the message. You want to get better at sex. You want to have, not better at, not improve your skill level, but have more fun and enjoy the what's the word? The experience. Yeah. Quit the drinking. Stop drinking. End of story. Okay, that is all I wanted to talk about tonight. If you've got any questions or comments, please put them in the comment box below. I help people quit drinking, get sober, stay sober, and I do it in a very, very short period of time. I use hypnosis to do that. Now, if it doesn't apply to you, fabulous, but we all know someone who maybe has a bit too much of a tipple and could do with sorting out. Point them in my direction, either, you know, what's the word, tag them in this post, or tag me in one of my posts, or get them to PM me or message me, whatever you like, yeah? Every night, 8 o'clock UK time, I'll be talking about something. If you've got an interesting topic you want to talk about, or if you've got a question, just ask me. And that's it for now. Listen, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.